like it's working to me.
Okay.
Alright, we'll just do it that way then. And then I'll do the other stuff afterwards. Alright. But yeah, you're saying how they can rack up their body count, and then as a man, you should be going to focus on yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Like, because that's gonna be your best, course of action
Mm-hmm.
as far as what is taking place. If she wants to, see other people, or if she's looking to, just kind of experience life, it's probably one of the excuses they'll use. Then that's fine. Just let them do their thing, and then you can focus on yourself. Because if you try and be that knight in shining armor for her, well, I'll stick through her, stick through this with her, through all the hardships. It's not really gonna be, like the type of interaction that you're going to benefit from.
Right.
It's gonna be one of them scenarios where it's like, hey, I took this L in silence. And everybody knows, like all her friends are gonna know, like, oh yeah, girl, I went through my whole phase and he stood by me through the whole thing. And it's just like, I mean, where's the pats on the back for this?
Yeah.
Is the real problem. It's like it's not healthy for it's not you in the situation. So I would say, if that's the case, just go ahead and cut that horse free. Let her run wild. Hot girl summer.
So, here's a question. Why do you think women desire to have a whole phase? Because in this kind of situation that we're all living in, it's more known for dudes to try to get around because, like the saying goes, lots of dudes don't really get that much play. So when they have the opportunity to, you want to go out and do it. Girls, they have the opportunity to off rip. So it's like, why do you think they would like to experience a whole phase? Because it doesn't really benefit them.
It's once those opportunities. So let's just say we'll go off of a week.
Okay.
In a week, your girl's DMs get blown up with all sorts of people she not really fucking with.
Right.
But one dude comes through and he's like, what's up? And she like, he's cute. She keeps that in the back of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
After a month, that's 4 dudes that are those, that boy for her. Now, once she racks up enough options that are viable, not just random DMs and dick pics, we're talking about, viable options.
Okay.
She's got 4 strong. Now, mind you, this could be 2 months down, 3 months down. You just got to multiply the numbers. It's mental math, easy enough. Now, once she has enough of those options, it's time to go shopping. It's like cheating, but if cheating had a light version where you didn't have to pay for it.
Okay.
The free versus the $2.99 version
Right.
of cheating. It's like, she's like, oh, I want to, experience other things. She's really trying to have her cake and eat it too. It's like, she wants to know that the grass is greener on the other side before she jumps the fence. That's really how I feel.
Okay. So here's a follow-up question to that, man. So do you think girls, I guess, have a whole phase or experience patterns of promiscuity with the thought that, hey, I just want to see the different feels of sex and the the attractiveness of someone, or do you think it's usually based off of something that person can do for them that they're lacking, opposed to a man is usually goes off a track?
I feel like the 2 examples you gave was back when girls asked what happened to chivalry.
Yeah.
Those girls wanted romance.
Okay.
As opposed to modern day women, which is the second option you gave, which is business relationships only. They just want a man for his resources and what he can provide.
Okay.
And when they're looking at that, and it's a business mindset, you have to think, what's going to reel me in the best revenue? So that's what they're really looking for. They want, that resource first, look second. So I mean, even if you provide the most resources, if they can take a slight cut on resources and get a super buff to the looks category, oh yeah,
We'll do that thing.
they on time. That's the end of that.
I guess I can understand that. It's just odd that these days that a woman will put themselves down to that point of, up in their body counts and things like that. I feel like a lot of times women undervalue themselves in that regard, because a lot of times dudes will prey on women because they know that they might want something from them. So let's say it's a dude who has a resource that she's lacking at the moment, they'll use her for her sex just to expend that resource, especially if they have a surplus of that resource. So it's like they're not losing anything, but in the end, she's losing something because to her, her body and her beauty are her resource. So it's like it's not something that can be equally tied to both sides. So I feel like women aren't really valuing their resource like they should.
That's facts.
If you think about it, a lot of girls are in those relationships, or they, quote unquote toxic relationships on purpose, is because of that reason that you just mentioned. Because if they're in that relationship for that resource, then they're gonna stick around just because of that resource. So they'll go through anything else, just to get that. And that's what drives it out, as long as it is.
So,
but if that resource is lacking, or if something happens and it gets cut short, she has a plethora of options to monkey branch to other options that are available or open that have either more or better utilities than the last person.
okay.
So it's almost like a job. Like if you know that this job is paying more than the job that you're currently working at, you're gonna stay at your current job until something happens, or until you get tired, and then you'll just go on to the next job, and then boom, you're getting paid more. It's a new job, a new experience. You're not losing out on anything. You don't even have to do the whole 2 week thing. You can just ghost. Just like why they don't reply back after hey, everything was just good, last week, or everything was just fine a few days ago, and now she doesn't reply back. She's gone. It's like she found a better opportunity. She felt like she doesn't know you anything, so that's why she ghosted.
I feel like
That's why I feel like that happens in those type of scenarios. Though.
So do you think that in the sense of like relationships, that it is now more like that people are wanting to, I guess, just be single and explore their options more so than actually search after love? Because I feel like when we were kids coming up, everybody wanted to experience love and see what love was like. But nowadays it seems like everybody's only wanting to see what the side of lust is like outside of that. What do you think?
I feel like the definition of F boys or Chads, that's what that is in essence. Now the female counterpart, red pill, pink pill. Hot girl summer is the epitome of what you just said.
Okay.
It's just being able to explore your options and having that freedom by hiding it behind that title. This is Hot Girl Summer. We're gonna just embrace our beauty and lay on our backs for every hot boy that comes through. That's basically what that is.
Hey, dude, that's facts though. Especially this summer, we've seen a lot of that, but it's wild.
But you gotta think about it, because like the commitment is just gone. All right, so it is more, like you said before, it is more business transaction based, because it's like, all right, we just have to use this saying. So like, what do you bring to the table? Well, most modern women are gonna say, I am the table, or they'll say something silly along those lines, and it's like, no, like seriously, like what skills do you have? But then modern women look at skills as like some sort of bad thing, like, I want to cook or clean or have responsibilities. Like, well, that's why you're an adult.
Right, because if we flip
why are you
that,
ashamed of, of that?
If we flip that on its head, I mean, let's think about some traditional male responsibilities. So we all have our, things that we like. Yet at any given time, should a tire pop, we all need to know how to change it.
Right.
Now, granted, not everyone's a handyman, and you can say, oh, well, that's pretty beta of you to not know how to change a tire. But the truth of the matter is, this is the thing that not all people learn. It's like me not knowing how to change a tire is like me asking a female, do you know how to braid hair? It's an art. It's something that has to be learned. That's why mechanics it's a trade skill. It's like, it's something that nobody really can say they want to learn, but they learn and they get good at, and then boom, here we are. I don't think anybody pops out the the womb, and they're just like, man, I really feel like slapping up this wrench and socket on some metal parts. So
Right.
It's not a thing.
No, that's facts, though. So, do you think, like, as of now, because I mean, alright, I understand women are going to be out here, they're going to do their thing just like dudes are doing their thing, because now we live in a society where,
Equality.
yeah, equality is real big, so if a man can do it, a woman can do it. With that same logic being implemented, do you think once everybody's finished having their fun and everybody's running their dick and, you know, vagina count all the way up
Facts.
as high as it could go, then now it's time to actually have a family? Do you think the way that women are going now, they have the skills to actually, you know, that they have the abilities to actually provide and nurture a family like a dude would do in this time and
Okay, so yeah, again, I'm gonna have to give that a solid no.
Okay.
I would say there's not even a want for it.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, when we look at, you know, and let's just keep it 100, you know,
Okay.
because when we're talking about high value people, that's an echelon that not a lot of people are even reaching.
Right.
So we can't discuss, oh, well, they don't need these traits because the man has money, he can hire a maid. The girl gets her own money, she can hire a maid. You're going to have a maid for the rest of your life. You have that kind of sustainable income. I mean, and even then, what happens when it's, you know, just you have a kid and your kid spills the juice? Are you going to just sit there with your kid like, oh, no, you made a boo-boo, Timmy? Matilda, and you just wait until she comes around. Like, come on, let's not be lazy. It takes 2 bounties and a little bit of elbow grease to get a juice stain up. So
It is facts, though.
it's just like, you know, if you don't have those traits, I feel like it's just it's really rough to try and excuse that because these are basic things. It's not like, you know, what we're saying is, oh, I want a girl that is a Michelin star chef. You just know how to. You need to know how to cook. And nowadays, there's recipes for everything. They tell you how to make muffins on the back of the fucking
Hey, that's facts, though.
the French toast cream of wheat. Okay, so
Split down the two, like there's the microwave instructions and then there's the cooking instructions.
because they know it's
Step by step.
Yeah, it's some basic level cooks out there, and microwave is their main media of cooking. That's what they know.
No, that's facts.
People that heat up water in the microwave instead of boiling on the stove. I mean,
Hey,
it happens.
they even have those on the back where it's like, this is the way to do it in the microwave, the stove, and whatever you have, so there's really no excuse.
But even then, we have YouTube. Like you can watch someone actually just do it, and you just.
But they can't though, because you got to remember these are the same women that are, you know, watching Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So they don't really have that on their playlist. It doesn't even pop up on their feature
algorithm.
Yeah.
for you.
And a lot of this stuff is like brainwashing, man, because it's like, we know good and well Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, as much as they portray themselves as hot girls, they ain't really living no hot girl life. You ain't seen Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion out here smashing a whole bunch of niggas.
As a
And,
matter of fact,
You
it's
feel me?
been the opposite. Like Cardi B has stayed with Offset, and you know she she stayed with
Yeah, yeah,
Offset.
look out for that. But,
And no Offset has been cheating all around. So you know it's just one of those things. It's like
yeah, no, that's facts,
it's got to
man.
be checked for
Yeah,
sure.
because I'm pretty sure even them, they got a whole like lifestyle where they're actually they know how to do stuff. Like Cardi B says she don't know how to cook a queen. We probably know she does. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Yeah, because it's just to brainwash, just like a lot of rap music and stuff. But that's a whole different
Yeah, true.
lane of stuff to go down.
For our media agenda.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Not why we're here.
Right. Right. Video relationship side. So, whole phases, it's a thing. Girls are utilizing them up, but I don't think they understand how detrimental it is because obviously we all know, and everybody in the community knows that if a woman's numbers is up to a, let's get into that since we're going down that path now. What do you think is an acceptable number for a woman to be watched with? If she's going to be pure honest, like we knew the 100% truth, because you know people be lying. You know the 100% truth. What's an acceptable number? What's an acceptable number? Let's start with you, John. What you think?
for like max body count.
Yeah.
and this is life. So we'll start from 18.
Yeah.
We won't count the 16 promiscuous, kind of I'm experimenting in sex. Those stories are always tragic. They don't really end in fireworks and
Right.
roses.
I'm just saying today's
But I
time
mean,
because
they still have to
it's
be
more
held accountable to a degree because
Okay.
there's a lot of people who still have kids from those relationships when they're
That's true.
16,
That's
and
true.
now it's affected
And
them.
yeah, that's a save file like that exists today.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll go from there. So 16 to current day. Yeah.
anywhere between 3 to 4. Anywhere between 3.
Dang.
The
Okay.
expectation. I mean, the thing is, though, like,
Because you gotta remember, all right. So the first time, first experience, curiosity. We can throw in a plethora of reasons why first time, right?
Okay.
Second time, it could be an ex. It could be a reason why you want to defend the first reason.
Okay.
So the third reason is like, all right, now you're getting caught into lust. That's when you finally like, you're in that grasp now. Like, this is a willing choice that I'm making now. So you already on the path. That's when you actually know, like, all right, this is something this is a thing now. That's when the patterns start. And then the fourth time is gonna decide if you're gonna continue to do this and get into the double digits, or if you're gonna stop. So that's why I say 3 to 4, because that's the
I'll come back. I got
The
a
hedge
question.
point for that.
Well, I'll ask that question once we go through the numbers. So I'm gonna go to Raph next. So what is your ideal number? Perfect number.
okay, so perfect number now. I'm gonna say this off top. My perfect number is anywhere in single digits. I'm even accepting 9.
Okay.
But my explanation for this is very simple. So
Okay.
we will go from 16. Let's say that you have that, and we're just talking about encounters, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, we're just going from 16. Let's say you have that, little that kid fling. I mean, in so many words, you're a young adult, right?
Right.
We all get it. But in comparison to your adult self, you were a kid then. We always say that,
Yeah,
back when I was a
yeah.
kid, or when I grow up.
Yeah.
When
Right.
do we actually grow up? You're 45, still saying when
Exactly.
I grow up. So, but
Exactly.
so we have that adolescence experience. I'm good. The spice from the gum. So you have that adolescence experience. We'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 for that, and it covers the ages from 16 to 18. And that means you could be in 2 different relationships.
Okay.
Fair enough. Now, we're going from 18, which is we're presumably graduating high school
Okay.
and going into college.
freshman college.
Yeah, exactly. That head shake is why my threshold is so high. So,
This is where it starts.
that's where it starts.
It's the
No,
gateway.
The whole phase.
The gateway.
It's like breathing.
Mhm.
It comes to us all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people's whole phases are a little more dramatic than others.
Facts.
I'm gonna give you a clean 4, and that's only because I'm trying to factor in that times have changed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
back in the day, I feel like just from 16 through out of college, you should have probably had 4 in total.
From high school into college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So,
That's
but I'm giving it 6 because there's the 2 for 16 to 18.
Okay.
And then through college, you get 4. So that's 6,
Oh, okay, okay,
right?
okay. I get it.
And then
Oh, okay, okay.
now we're out of college, and
On to you.
yeah, you're on to your first job. It's not your dream job. It's just I need to pay rent because I have a studio apartment
Yeah.
in the heart of my city. So, now you get an extra 2. That
And
gets us to
student
8. At that point, you only have wiggle room for 1 more, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like 9 is kind of my thing. It has to be under
Right.
single digits. Like, and that's me being lenient
I agree.
as far as in encounters and just that whole number. Now, with me being realistic, anything under 20 is what's gonna be more
Probably.
likely today. But,
No, that's 100%. So
More realistic.
I think for me, I'd have to say probably I'd be around the same. I have to say like John, like 4 or 6 is ideal, only because like you were saying, you know what I'm saying,
This wifey.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is obviously wifey. You know, that's the whole reason people have that stigma of like wanting a wife to wear white during her wedding because you want something that's pure and sacred. Now, nowadays we know there's not much running around here that's pure or sacred. But I wanted the closest thing to it. You feel what I'm
Because
saying?
the last thing I need is my homie from
Man.
college making a song like Ray J. You know what I'm
You know?
saying? About smashing my current day wife. Like, I
Right.
don't need that.
No, I don't need nobody being all up in my wife and all that. So it's strange, but it also makes me think that, you know, if she's supposed to be this staple of a wife, she don't gotta be no boring person, like no prude. But at the same time, I don't want her to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of times, I feel like as a man, and you know what I'm saying, y'all can chime in and let me know how y'all feel about it too. But as a man, you don't want your woman to have nothing new to experience with you. You feel what I'm saying? There's good to have like, oh, she's experienced so that you know, okay, we can get into it. But you want something that's memorable so that you can be memorized in her head. If she's done everything with everybody, it's like, then who are you? You just husband.
That's it.
And nobody just wants to be husband. You feel me? So I feel like that's why like 6 is a good number because I feel like, and to kind of go back to where I was saying, I was gonna bring that back to you. And I guess we can just go off through it. It's like okay. So let's say, do you think that as a man, it is acceptable to have a higher body count
Than
your significant other? Because living in this, oh well, if he going, you feel what I'm saying? Like they're gonna be butthurt about it. So it's like, yeah, because I mean, obviously as a man, we know. It's supposed to be. You're supposed to have more than your wife or your girl or whatever. But these days, girls' numbers be higher than dudes' numbers. So
That's equality.
you know, but then that kind of throws equality off. But I mean,
Well, I mean,
If we're talking about balance, then
no, I get what Raf saying though, but it's just they scream equality, but really it's dominance. You
yeah,
know
it's
what
not
I'm saying? But yeah, so if we had to just project and try to, you know what I'm saying, play the role of what a woman would want in your head, what do you think would be the perfect number for a man to be?
For a man.
Yeah.
Rough. Alright, so we're going first on this one?
yeah, I'll go again. Let's say 4 and 6. Between 4 and 6. Yeah.
Because you have a pretty like
No matter like
neutral number between
definitely
like to be
not-
serious in a relationship, and that's where I was gonna go first. I had forgot, so I went to this part first. But I meant to say the way that it sounded like you were kind of conditioning with the 4 and 6 is that this is for people who are seriously in a relationship, and that's what you're thinking. Like people who really want to find love, this is what their numbers should be, because there's no reason for your numbers to be in the double digits. If you're actually looking to be with someone, you shouldn't have to go through 10 niggas to find your husband.
Right.
So is that why you're saying like 4 and 6? Kind of.
Because I look at it like a ranking, like from gaming all the way down to the military. Like, okay, so there are people who are in it to be serious, and there are people who are in it to just play around. The people who are in it to be serious, they're actually trying to climb the ranks and trying to be one of the top 10, right? So they're trying to do, they're just trying to take it seriously. So that's why I have that number, because like if you're one of those people who are actually trying to, you know, because virgins aren't a thing today. So like, I mean,
On which side?
both.
You think so?
Yeah, and like today's time, like no.
Okay.
I mean, like they're out there, but I mean, it's not like
It's not something that's held like.
the
sacred.
numbers aren't big enough for it to be even a topic. So it's like,
You think on both sides though, even for dudes?
nah, not for dudes.
Okay.
Now, are you thinking of like dudes valuing?
Yeah,
Females
virgins
being
just
virgins?
waiting it out.
Oh, is that what you're
Waiting
saying?
it out.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that there wasn't like. Nobody's really a virgin these days. Okay, I get where you're at.
That's also kind of true too, but yeah. Basically, so.
Okay. You can continue with your point. I was missing it.
Okay, so I was gonna make a league reference, but I'm not gonna do that. But, some people are in it to be serious, and some people are in it just to play around because, you know. Dang, I almost lost my train of thought. Okay, so yeah, the people who are in it seriously, I chose that number because the people who actually value marriage for what it's really supposed to be, you know, they're not gonna just run their number up for reasons or excuses. They're actually gonna, you know, stick to it. But those mistakes are those numbers that are gonna calculate and build up, opposed to people who are just, you know, I'm young forever, and then they just play the young forever game until they get old, and then when the fun runs out and you try to get serious at the last minute, it's too late. And that's how I feel like the majority of people, what most, well, especially what most women do, you know, when it comes to body counts. But that's why I chose that number, because it's a medium number between serious and playing around.
Okay.
So,
I can dig that. That makes a lot of sense.
True.
but a guy has more leeway when it comes to a higher body count because a guy has more choices. So he's going to explore those more choices, which means he's going to have a higher number than a woman with just.
I feel like I have to disagree with you on that note, only to a certain degree, because I feel like now, maybe that statement might have been more true back in the days when people actually took their purity seriously, like women. Because I remember growing up as a kid, women would talk about how like sex was nasty, and they're like, is that all you think about is sex? Like there's more to it. Now, women will be the ones thinking about sex more than the dude, and you're like, dang, like when did the roles reverse? So I feel like based off of the thirsty count, because I mean, we can go into any kind of, you can just spin around in a circle, open a social media, scroll through girls' photos, and you're going to see one of the dudes there that's thirsty to be on that girl. And the fact that she has those options means that she could do this if she wanted. Now, they might not be the person that she wants, but I've heard lots of women who just say, oh, I'll just use this dude just for head. And they'll be cool with that. That blows my mind that there are dudes out here who just want to eat monkey for the sake of better term, eat some monkey and be cool with it. They be, are you okay? And then they just, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. And they leave like, I mean,
And then she's like, well, maybe not tomorrow, maybe next Wednesday.
right? She gets to set a she gets to set a schedule like that. As a man, how are you even a man? You're beneath it, but that's a different topic too. We'll touch on that later.
Because I mean, there's so much that goes into that. Because then it goes into, hey, am I just Wednesday FaceTime, if you know what I'm saying, or is that just an option for me? Maybe you're just the girl that I'm FaceTime for on Wednesday, and then I have other setups throughout the week. So now I'm getting to play every day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Think about it like this, in a sense of
you're still a player too throughout the week.
Exactly. And think about it like this. In a woman's sense that they can do that, how likely is it that a man can have FaceTime friends and like more than two? You feel what I'm saying?
Does he have the money for it?
No, he's just a regular dude.
Oh no. Hey,
But I'll say default states aren't. They're not built that way, and it just doesn't work that way. It'll be fun, funny if it were that way.
But here's the thing. So here's another point. That's why isn't it a thing? Because like if everybody wants equality, right?
You
and
just
females
said
want to come out here. What you mean?
You already just did. Thirsty. The thirsty people. The thirsty people are the reason why. The thirsty people are the reason why men aren't valued like that. If the thirsty people weren't, oh, you can't say all of them aren't going to be on the market, but if they just weren't in larger numbers, as far as just like just thirsting for no reason, just for no reason. All this unnecessary worshiping is just like, why? And people just push this fantasy and they try to make it a reality so hard that it just throws everything off balance. So that's why it's like that.
I can't even answer that question. I have to get one of those people in here so that we could just like pick their brain to see like, why do you do what you do? What is the hopes in it all? Because like, yeah, it does throw the balance off. But
as far as the thirsty people, I think it's just following the wave. You know, the thing that's the trend. So if the trend is hot girl summer, hot boy summer, there are people that are not of that tier. It's just like saying, you know, there are high value people, and everybody is like, oh, well, high value. Well, no one's talking to you. Calm down, Skipper. You're not high value. You're not there yet. You know. So when we're talking about hot boy summer, hot girl summer, there was there's tons of memes about it. But for you to have a hot girl summer, you gotta be hot. So it's a lot of people that are not really, cutting the ticket when it comes to like, am I attractive enough? Am I, this or that? And they don't hold up to that standard, but they still want to experience that fun. Nobody wants to be that guy that didn't get invited to the party. Right? So I feel like those are the people. Yeah, those are the people where it's like, hey, I just want to be a part of the fun. So they are the thirsty people because they like that experience and they want to get it as much as they can in any amount that they can. And there we have it.
Dang. So it's like monkey is like a moth being drawn to a flame. Like,
oh yeah,
they'll try to get as close as they can to it, even though they know they can't get it.
Burn them.
Yeah, they just want to get to it. That's like people going to.
As they're getting closer. That's not enough.
That's like people going to the mall to look at the new Call of Duty coming out, not look at the game being played. Just staring at the case, and then going home.
Like, man, Call of Duty was great today. And then they throw up tweets. What about that new Call of Duty, boys? You don't even have a system. It's a real issue. We're talking about the thirsty people that are really messing up the market for everybody else. Like, that's how that goes into play. And then it all comes back. I mean, I'm talking hula hoop, action, shoestrings, whatever goes in a circle, boomerang it up. When we're talking about, it coming back, it's the fact that people don't hold value to themselves. So, sad boy vibes, there's two different sides of sad boy vibes. And that's a trending thing. Now, there's sad boy vibes where if you're, in a healthy mindset, and you hear a song, you're like, ooh, this is Rainy Mood Drake. That's the first side of sad boy vibes. The second side is like, I'm depressed, no one loves me. Who's gonna come and save me from this? And when you look at those two spectrums, it's like these people on this side, they are the ones that are, technically like not valuing themselves. So they're ruining it for the people who enjoy sad boy vibes that are on the side of just, hey, I want to hear a sad heartbreak song. And it kind of puts me in a mindset. It's not that it puts me in a mood. It's not that I get depressed when I hear it. It's that, oh, this reminds me of a good time I had and a bad time that I had. And then they just kind of resonate with that and then move on about their lives.
Yeah.
That's it. But, when it comes to like the people that are getting sad about it, I feel like that's how people are valuing themselves in current day, where they're like, oh, I'm just not really cut out to be what I need to be, and I could probably never make a certain girl happy. Like, there's somebody that's gonna make you happy. Stop shooting for Beyonce.
Yeah.
There's tons of different girls that would just fine.
What was the one chick that was in Destiny Child? Not Kelly Rowland, but the third one.
Oh, see, I don't even remember her name. Michelle, yeah. Michelle was still cute.
Yeah,
you can get you a Michelle. And
nothing wrong with her.
When we looking at the three, Michelle wifey. Now, me personally, Kelly Rowland wifey, but the truth of the matter is Michelle wifey. That's the one that's gonna hold you down. Do it all, like, and that's okay to get you a Michelle. When you look at a lot of people in your current bracket, like people that you think are cool and you look up to, and I'm talking about people you know in real life, not no celebrities, not any idols or people that you think are up in that status that you don't actually talk to, the people that you talk to and you encounter. When you look at their wives, they don't have these, 9s and 10 wives. Their wives are like 8s, adjustable 7s, and that's okay. It's because they know, like, this is the person that makes me happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she's cute as well, but she's not bad because what comes with bad women is bad attitudes, bad everything else.
That's why, that's why I come up with the term "up your alley" because it's like it matches perfectly with you. And this is a little off topic, but when a lot of people talk about, just like working out and stuff, like, oh, well, you need to get into the gym and, like, people, I think a lot of people perceive that as like being over confident or being, prideful or being a D-bag, but it's like, the reason why working out is a perfect symbol of that is because you're challenging yourself, and that confidence comes when you challenge yourself. So when you're put under pressure, this is how you're going to respond, and then you get better from there. And then that's how you make your confidence grow. Like, it helps in every other branch. It's like a tree. All the branches that come from that root, it's going to come from working out. But I'm not just trying to, like, promote, something, but I'm just saying, like, it really does help.
It promotes itself.
Hey, it promotes itself.
I mean, it's good for your health, helps you live longer. So you're helping yourself out. And so, you know, when you're looking at the man in the mirror, you want to make sure that he's not looking back at you. You know, he's not looking back at you. Not the way you want to be seen. So I probably said that wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, yeah. Working out, eating healthy, you know, just take baby steps. That's the most important part. Do it
really,
slow.
helps
No
your mental-
cold turkey. Don't take back just a little bit.
It really helps your mental, your body, and it really gets you in the mindset to focus on you and be the best you that you can be, opposed to worshiping someone else. You're taking time to worship yourself, which is very important to finding someone else who can respect you. Kind of to go back to what Raph was saying, and also to tie it together is people, especially men mostly these days, don't value themselves enough. And it was interesting when you had said that previously about the sad boy vibes and men not taking or putting value in themselves in that regards, because that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like that might also tie into the reason that, you know, there's this influx of the NASDAQ between the coochie coins and the dick dollars is thrown off. Because when it goes to dudes, let's say normally when dudes are out here, they don't value themselves, and they need to understand that you need to value your penis more than a woman is valuing her vagina, because it is important. A baby cannot be created on its own, and lots of dudes are out here being thirsty to smash women. They'll smash any kind of woman that it is. Like, you show them a street urchin, and they'll probably tell their boys nah, but they know good and well that they would. They don't have respect for themselves. You need to value yourself, because a woman could be put in the same position, and not, I say maybe 8 times out of 10, she ain't gonna smash no ugly dude just for the sake of smashing him, because she understands I can do better than this. And I feel like that's what a lot of dudes need to understand, is that they can do better than what they put themselves in that position. To go back to what you were saying is, first thing first, you need to take care of yourself and monitor your life and worry about you first, opposed to worrying about when you're gonna find the next baddest thing or chasing monkey. And I feel like that's where a lot of dudes get lost in these days. So that's wild, man.
Yeah,
Value is important.
The steps itself, you know what John was saying, was key as far as building value. If you don't have the value there, I mean, it's perfectly fine to look at yourself and say, this ain't it. I deal with my flaws every day. I get up, look in the morning, and I say, damn, I'm not Chris Brown today. And I fucking go about my day, man. Like, that's it. You know, I can't be like, ooh, and start crying and woe is me. Somebody make me into Chris Breezy. No, that's not how that works, you know. So you just look at yourself, you're like, all right, man, pick it up. Let's go. And you go about, you know, what you need to do. It's not saying, you know, that anybody is like, oh, you're at this place where you're so low, or, you know, like, you could be a perfectly established person and still have trouble with valuing yourself. That's how people, you know, deal with depression and all sorts of stuff. It goes into, you know, that avenue of just like not understanding your worth and who you are.
When do you think that people started to overvalue flesh? And when I say that, I mean just like attractiveness and what's in right now. Like, right now everybody's talking about big butts and, you know what I'm saying, big dicks and big muscles and all this stuff like that. I feel like it might have been before.
It was before. It was the influx of technology. I feel like it's once everybody started getting computers in their house. We talked about this briefly before, where it's like, you know, it's not so much as like, if there's a 4-year-old and you're like, oh, hey there, little Mackenzie. Mackenzie has her own iPad. When did this happen?
That's true.
When we were kids, it was rare for us to have cell phones.
That's
our
right.
own cell phone. If you had a cell phone, you was a hot boy in school. Like,
Man.
Now people have, like, there's a household of, you know, 4 kids, 2 adults. There's 7 computers. One is just a community computer in the living room, you know, or like, you know, whatever it might be, but it's the access to information. And I feel like that was really it, because you got to think about ads, and then the models that they put in ads.
That's true.
Anything from like, you know, Fashion Nova to Pornhub, there's gonna be, you know, that image of that Eurocentric.
And that shapes what makes you think attractiveness is.
Exactly, because it's what you see. You know? And now they're trying to get to it where they're like, oh, we have skinny models and plus size models, but that's not changing anything. Even the plus size models, they're voluptuous in the places where it counts, and their tummy's a little bit slimmer than the average big girl, if you will. to think about it like that.
That's right.
Because if a woman identifies as plus size, do you identify as plus size model or just plus size where you put it on your dating bio as curvy / other and you're huge? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. It's like, but there's levels to it. But hey, let's get into it.
Yeah, no, that's facts though. That does play a part, and I think that also ties into people not valuing themselves and taking the time to actually work on themselves.
Yeah, true.
Like if you that big, I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with being. No, I ain't gonna hold you. There's stuff
something
wrong with
wrong
being
with
big.
it.
It's just the politically correct thing to say, but there is stuff wrong with being big.
That brings up a perfect point. I was just about to say this when you brought it up. But as far as like, people not valuing themselves and not, just noticing, hey, I am big. I need to change this. Instead, they go to social media. Their security
And look for
blanket,
validation.
and they look for validation, and it's there in spades. They got groups for everything that will support you through all.
That you
the
brought this
bullshit.
up, it's kind of taking us off the course of the main thing
that's
here,
okay.
but it's interesting because now that you brought that up, do you think that there are support groups like there are for women? Because women can go online and be like, this dude said that I was fat and whatever, and then everybody rushing, but oh, you're not fat. He's a whole douchebag. You feel me? And it's like with dudes, do you think that they have that same kind of community where they can be like, hey, this girl dumped me? You know what I'm saying?
That community
You're
is
gonna get
honestly,
clowned.
yeah, it's not built. It's not built correctly.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like groups where it's like people that are, hey, I'm kind of like emotionally aligned with this, but it's not gonna be a support group per se. It's gonna be like, hey, this is a men's chat or this is a men's hangout, and then you go there like, dudes, I need your help.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of like, there's that one guy that steps forward and he's like, yeah, man, I know what you're saying. And then he DMs you and he's like, it's okay, man. Then you come to find out, he's really looking at you in a different way. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the things that just happens. It's
Hey, that's facts though.
unspoken truth.
That is
Right?
facts.
Yeah.
Because that also, I guess, it can kind of go back to tying into what we're talking about. Is a lot of times the women will put themselves in a position where they can do no wrong, and because in their eyes they do no wrong, they do no wrong in other women's eyes who view them as them. So if they have anything that they've done wrong, you can bring up a situation where it's like a man and a woman having an argument. They're arguing about, something, and the woman is dead wrong about it. And the dude is like, hey, I feel like you hurt my feelings when you did this. And she's like, well, I ain't hurt your feelings, so you need to get over it. She can go on social media and be like, can you believe that this man is crying about this? And then they'll be like, oh, that ain't no man if he's going to be acting like that. And they'll actually,
comments,
you feel me? They'll, really brainwash her to think that there was nothing wrong with what she did. When in actuality, if the tables were turned, it'd be a whole different scenario.
He'd be drugged. He'd be drugged. Publicly, by his nuts through the town. Like, that's just the town.
That's crazy.
And that's completely true. When it comes to just double standards in general, I mean, there's so many things that females get away with that men cannot do. And we're not going to start the sob stories or, the sad show about, oh, men can't do this.
Yeah.
We get it. And that's why we're men, because we can just take that information and move on.
Yeah.
We don't stop on little stuff like that. Granted, it does affect us, but hey, who are we going to talk to about that? The support groups aren't there,
It's
right?
not there, it don't exist. You gotta go to your circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything right now is off social media for dudes.
Yes. I have an offline support group. I'm sitting with them right now.
That's really what it is, man. And it's wild. But shoot, women, it's a whole thing, man. But that's crazy. Alright, let's see. Deadly bad. Okay. What's this? The third one?
Oh, okay. So this is the talk. Yeah. So the talk is pretty much, those expectations. It's where you're getting into dating. Find somebody that you're kind of compatible with, and things. This is the way to stop the expectation from getting to that point of things went too fast. That breakup text where shit has just gone too fast. Too far, too fast. And,
Okay.
you're in that spot where it's like, how do we get here? You're looking back at, the destruction, and you're like, but we had a good run.
Yeah.
But like, when did you start going downhill? When could you not control the stops? And just put those right kind of boundaries in place. So the talk is basically just speaking with the significant other and letting them know, like, hey, these are kind of my expectations. These are my boundaries. As a man, I'm going to set these, and as a female, you have your own too. And I'd like to acknowledge them.